as the kids say.
The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. So hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pros course. Bismarck, you wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Kid, we got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Kid, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
Oh boy. The sky is, oh, my bad. You can't see the color of the sky, but it is blue. And it's getting cloudy with what looks like dirty Pacers fans getting in our way. Whatever. We'll see y'all soon. Shouts out to you know who. We'll see y'all in a minute. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know what this is. It's your boy the Mayor, named Ace 5. Newest episode of the Star 5. I'm representing the homie J1 Studios. He was a producer on this animated series of Jaka. Forgot I helped back the Kickstarter. My man sent me the shirt mad late because he forgot he had it. But I've had the shirt for like over a year plus now. So whatever. But still got to represent Black creative and all of that stuff because we got a lot of Black stuff to talk about today. And not just our Black ass Knicks. What up, Tyrone?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got some Black stuff to talk about. Well, your boy apparently got to calm down again. I might have to do another sensitivity training because people don't know the rules. White folks don't know the rules that when you're arguing with a Black man, you only get a couple of steps towards him before he going to get a little aggressive. And they don't know the rules and they don't understand the rules. So I had to tell somebody that rule again. But I forgot what world I was living in. And, that's a threat. So here we go again.
Jamal, our gingers know the rules though.
Yes,
my ginger.
Yes,
my bad, Tyrone.
Okay.
Hopefully, things won't turn out too bad for your boy. And I had a good week. Jamal, what's up?
What's going on, y'all? Pleasure being here on this Sunday. We ain't got no rain yet. It's nice outside. I got me an ice cold one. It's been about 2 weeks since I've had something like that. Here, can't wait to chop it up with y'all. You know, today we're gonna make sure we make this a Knicks appreciation moment for our boys. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Tyrone, I hope it works out for you, man. I understand exactly what you're talking about, what you're going through, fam. We all been there. We'll throw it over to O.
We all haven't.
Oh man, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, man, looking forward to a great show. Yeah, I'm here. You ready? You see, I'm ready already, man. I'm feeling, I'm getting in the mode already. You know what I'm saying? Got my boy, Mr. Fuck Them Picks right behind me. You know, the background, ready to get into it, man.
Right, well, we'll just get right into it because the homie Brian came through and said, "Congrats on y'all win. Y'all deserve to win. Best of luck." That hurt to type. It did, just like it hurt to see Jaylen Brown go down. I mean, Jalen. No, I didn't say
Jason
Jason
Jalen
Tatum.
Tatum.
Brown. Wow.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum. Wow. Yeah. J names. But yeah, to see Jason Tatum go down. But no, pause. To see Jaylen Brown go down also.
Oh yeah, fam. That was. Come on, man. How was that legal?
Yo.
How did that not get flagged? That foul was so egregious on the opening day of the NFL. The Patriots need to get a 15-yard on sportsmanlike. That's how
Right.
bad that shit was.
Yo, like I'm so shocked that like that and that happened in Boston, right? That didn't happen
Mm-hmm.
in the Garden, right? Okay, so
That's
they
in
was
Boston.
lucky because I was gonna say because if that happened in the Garden during Game 6, which it it didn't, but if the whole arena didn't scream, "Hey yo!" like
Yeah.
son, oh, that was the first thing I screamed when I seen that shit. I couldn't even
Yo,
laugh at nothing. I was just full stunned.
yo, you would
The
have swore. You would have
whole
swore he was. You would have swore he was changing the channels on an old TV knob, boy. Because
Fam.
he grabbed the fuck. I'm like, God damn.
Bro, dog, he grabbed that shit like he was about to roll some dice. He got his hands cupped on that shit like he was about to shoot some CeeLo. You know what I mean?
I'm like, yo, what are you doing, bro?
Desperate times call for desperate measures. You
Oh,
understand?
Man, that's
yeah, but I mean, when we pause, when we use the term "dick rider," that's not what we are
Hey,
expecting. We wasn't expecting a physical manifestation on an NBA court.
that was oof. That was I don't know how he can go back to the locker room after that. And his teammates ain't shaking their head.
Right now, yo, give me the other hand. Give me the. Oh
boy.
no, I think that if it was the left hand, then he all right. Nobody dapping up the left. That's disrespect. But man, yeah, 4-2 Knicks win the series. It was. I man, listen, I'm gonna let y'all have the floor, but as I said in the group chat, what I feel a vibe. This vibe is almost feeling like Eagles last year vibe. And I'm not saying Eagles last year, this past season vibe on a level of dominance because we're playing great basketball. We're playing very good basketball at times, but not dominating. The last game we could say that, but you could already see it in Boston's eyes that it was just like, all right, nigga, let's get this shit over with. But and the Jalen names, Brunson, Hurts, Jalen Brunson has been giving me that cold Jalen Hurts vibe of I'm locked in. I'm locked in. And you've seen what kind of problems Jalen Hurts caused when he was dead focused and locked in. And that's what Brunson is giving me right now. And it's not because of the similarity, the irony of the names being the same is one thing. I'm just reading that vibe off of him that I think we might be in for something special. I really do. Oh,
I think Game 6 was the first time in a long time, probably mid early to mid '90s Knicks, and I don't even think it's happened then. That was the first time I can actually say I've seen a crowd take a team out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything the Knicks did, it was they was standing ovation, and they I think that just demoralized the Celtics by second
Mm-hmm.
quarter. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we were playing great defense. I mean, I'm sitting there, watching the game with my boys, and I'm like, yo, that's the first thing I noticed. Like, yo, damn, yeah, we were playing great defense, but yo, every time we stole the ball and went down court and got a layup or a three, it was like we won the championships. And I just think that demoralized that Celtics team, and nobody's really talking about that. And I think that was the main thing that did it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, it was a great game, man. Jaylen Brown couldn't do it by himself. You know, he couldn't. And now we find out today that he was playing on a torn meniscus, partially torn meniscus too. So,
Oh well,
yeah.
fam. Listen, I think what they found out now is why they called the Garden the Mecca. The Mecca showed up and said, "We are not going to let y'all lose." Now they know why, and Knicks haters have had a good run. They've had a good run, but now the Knicks can't be ignored. And I'm pointing to that gentleman on top, but up top, pause. Anyway, they can't be ignored, and now you see why basketball is better when the Knicks are good. Now, last year, the Knicks finished second in the conference, and they was ignored like they was dismissed. The Sixers were supposed to take us out, if everybody remembers that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gave the Knicks any credit. And even in this series with Boston, we were all realists. We asked for improvement. And I agree, no one saw this coming. Nobody saw the Knicks beating the Celtics like this. No, most of us was happy if we won a game against them instead of defending champs. And I got no problem with anybody who said they thought the Celtics were going to win. But when the Knicks started beating this team, they would still get no credit. It was always because of something the Celtics didn't do. It was never the Knicks played well. Boston's missing these threes. You know, they're not going to miss these threes every game. This is what they do. Well, why are they missing those threes? Right?
Wait a minute.
Hold on, Ty. You're gonna have the stage to hate, brother. I'm gonna give it to you.
I was gonna say, I think
you're gonna have the stage to hate.
I really think it was just Alan Hahn. It was Alan Hahn and Perkins were the only two that picked the Knicks.
Only two.
Out of everybody.
Everybody else is this, that, the other. And even now, these dumbasses talk about, well, it was, when Jason Tatum went down, there was no y'all lost that third game with Tatum. You lost 3 with Tatum playing. Yeah, it was a wrap.
Yeah, y'all was down.
They were broken. And to the mayor's point, I get what you're saying about the Jalen's, and I think it's the reverse because Jalen Brunson's been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, right? Who they remind me of, and I'm going to use my hometown link, they remind me of them 07 Giants, who had a couple players that were all-star players, but the rest was a bunch of, we don't know. And they had this old school coach who didn't want to change his ways and finally said, okay, try to change a little bit and let them open up, and they gelling at the right time. That's my comparison.
Defense. No, I see it because defensively, your Giants is what helped take it over the edge. The offense and Eli and them, they played enough to put points on the board and things like that. But to play stopper, your defense played out of this world in that time. They were that front four. Actually, you got to add the whole front 7 when it comes to your Giants, because even your linebackers who were so kind of guys stepped the fuck up and played amazing. Like not to give a full breakdown on the Giants again, but I see your comparison. I see the comparison.
The offense made the plays when it counted. That's the other thing.
I'm talking. I was talking on these two guys are the faces of both franchise level. These guys are the quote unquote captains. They are the lead guys. The number ones, as they like to say on sports media. Our comparisons, I think, equate to each other in both ways.
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna toss it to Ty. Go ahead, Ty.
Oh, listen, man, this is not hate. This is just real perspective here, right? First of all, you said the Mecca. That's why it's called the Mecca. They're not gonna let the Knicks lose. They let y'all lose a lot, but 40 years they let y'all lose. You know what I'm saying? When was the last title? 72. So they let y'all lose a lot.
73.
I wasn't born yet.
Let y'all lose.
None of us was born yet. But
I'm just saying, the Mecca been letting y'all lose for a long time. So let's not
go
there.
But is there an environment like you saw? Like what NBA stadium has that environment?
None, but y'all still lost in a lot.
And we haven't seen that energy since our 90s Knicks that was making it to Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals. We haven't seen that level of energy.
I do give it to New York. They're not like the people in Pittsburgh who support mediocrity. if you're bad, they're gonna let you know. So I do appreciate that. But here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Y'all want to sit up here. Everybody keeps changing the narrative, and the narrative is true. In those first 2 games, I cannot sit up here and give the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks played well. They played good. They hustled. They did all the things that y'all saying that they did. But to act like their defense stopped Boston and to act like they were missing those threes because of the Knicks defense is ridiculous. I watched those games. I watched in crunch time, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and White took wide open, uncontested 3-point shots in crunch time in both of those games. That's not good defense. So yeah,
I know they lost 4 games though.
Hold on. I know. I'm saying the first 2, the 2-0 games. Now the other games, okay. Boston, y'all kind of got y'all defense together. And they didn't try to play the same way them last 2 games because they didn't have Tatum. But in the games that Tatum played, the truth is Boston lost those games by missing threes. They had a ton of wide open, uncontested 3-point shots that they missed in crunch time. So yeah, y'all played good. Y'all won the games and all that. Y'all hustled. Jalen Brunson did what he had to do. But to sit up here and act like, oh, why did they miss those threes? They missed those threes because they missed them. It wasn't the defense that stopped them from making those shots. A lot of those shots were wide open.
All right, but how do you explain them blowing 20-point leads and not stopping the Knicks offense?
Boom, that part.
How do you explain that?
Third quarter.
What do you mean?
Game 1 and 2.
Read that passage again. Read that passage again, my brother. Read. Come on, Jabal. Read.
Y'all sitting up here trying to say that the Knicks defense is what helped them win, and I'm saying the Knicks defense wasn't that great. And if you're giving up wide open threes in crunch time to the team's 3 best players, that's not good defense. So there is something to be said about missing shots.
But that's in just specific moments, though. Like you're not adding you're putting it down to those few whatever minutes for those wide open shots that were missed is what told the game to you. What about the rest of the game? If the defense wasn't good, how do the Knicks climb back in both games, first 2 games?
Because Boston.
We had this argument just a week or 2 ago. But
Boston was missing the shots. It wasn't what the Knicks defense was doing. They were just missing shots that they usually make. They took 63.
No, sir.
Tyrone, can I say something? So personnel wise, right? So let's go along with your argument, right? Personnel wise, the Knicks are better. The Knicks are a better team than what you're saying, because we out-rebounded the shit out of them this series. Mitchell Robinson
was a problem.
Offensive glass. There was not a better offensive rebounder in for Boston.
And Amakwa, who didn't play against the Celtics during the regular season?
Mitchell Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, your boy Porzingis. Nobody want to say he got the monster. Nobody
left off the bus Zingis. Left off the bus Zingis.
Oh, my man's sick, man. He ain't my boy anyway. He y'all boy, remember? Y'all was mad.
We don't remember that, man. We don't claim him.
No, we got to salute him. We have to salute him, because trading him is what turned this team into what they was.
Yeah.
The picks, the financial acuity they can have. He got his ring out of it, but we actually became an NBA team when we got rid of him.
Yeah, but y'all weren't the Knicks fans I know weren't happy when it happened.
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying. They weren't happy when it happened.
It wasn't. I could be honest. Like I kind of questioned but why at the time. I did. I think most of us. I think you're right. I think most of us probably did. I'm not saying them, but I do think most Knicks fans was just like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Just like how the Dallas fans was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Why are we getting rid of Luka?" And the NBA rigged it perfectly, allegedly rigged it to, but
and y'all still in the rebounding thing too. No, y'all still in the rebounding thing too.
Can't have more than one great white hype.
Rebounds come from guys boxing out, getting inside, banging down low, and getting boards, right? But when you got a team shooting 63s and only making 25% of them, y'all know those rebounds fly out. When you miss them threes, those are long rebounds that can get tipped, that can get smacked. And I'll admit the Knicks have more hustle, but come on, the rebounds was based on the shots that was being missed, bro. Like 3-point shots.
Rebounds.
Yeah, but they're basically up for grabs at that point. It's not the same as boxing out and hustling and getting rebounds. It's when you're shooting threes and the rebounds are long, that plays to the defensive team. So the offensive guys think they're going to make them, and they don't crash the ball.
I'm seeing
but hold on real quick. Let me just say this one thing real quick, please. How does breaking down the purpose of a rebound, like you're trying to put a negative slant on what's the you rebound because yes, the shot was missed. It don't matter what the trajectory is. Not every rebound is down low in the paint, Paul. You know, it's not. Yeah, okay. The game is being played from three. The trajectory of a lot of these rebounds are bouncing. Who's collecting the most of them? Who collect the most of them? So you can't. The way you're trying to say it is like, yeah, but they got all these rebounds because. Nigga, they got all the rebounds. Like your spin is blowing my.
No, they trying to say that your boy was in there banging a lot of those rebounds.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. They just said the boy.
No,
was in
they
there.
said no.
Offensive rebounder. So that means the Knicks miss. Mitchell Robinson is getting
right.
Who's the best offensive rebounding center in the league? One of the best.
The rebounding.
Mitchell Robinson. Okay, right. Who didn't play against the Celtics during the regular season, right? And the most unpopular thing people want to hear is the difference with Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is an elite disruptor. Elite. He put it out there. He said it out of his own mouth. I'm the only big man in the league that can guard Tatum on the wing, on the edge.
And he showed it.
And he was right. And he showed it, right? If he wasn't that dude in this series, why were they doing the hack of Mitch?
Yeah, trying to get him out of
They were trying to get his ass out of the game because he was a problem.
Reed.
He can close out.
Reed.
He can close this out.
Guess what? Mitch Robinson took the worst free throw I ever seen in the history of basketball.
He did.
Don't spin just to try to find something negative.
But then he went 6 for 6, and they stopped hacking him. They just shit.
like we all didn't see Shaq. Like we all didn't.
Yes, sir.
So now Shaq is Mark Price of the line, right? Okay.
No.
At the end of the day, the sports media still cannot say that. Okay, the Knicks, this team did well. They can't let it come from them.
No. I can.
They can't let it flow from them. But
I can say y'all did well, but y'all got also a lot of things that are true. I can say y'all did well. I did. I said y'all did well. I said y'all played good. I said y'all hustled. I said y'all had more hustle than the Celtics. I said Jalen Brunson went off. I said all the good things, but I also y'all got to face reality that the narrative that the Celtics missed a lot of shots is true.
That works for one game. That works for one game. But when you lose a whole series, it's what the other team is doing. That's just the end of the story.
That part. Plus, when you miss wide open shots, that is free defense. It don't matter. That's free defense. Thank you for sucking at that moment. Like, that's what that is. That's free defense.
Tyrone, you're sabotaging your own argument because a lot of those shots were uncontested. They should have made them. This is the pros.
They should have made them.
So that's like, what are you saying?
My point is that two games that the Knicks won, and everybody is saying the narrative is that the Knicks won those two games because of Boston missing shots. It's facts. That's facts. Boston missed wide open uncontested three-pointers, and that was the reason why they lost those two games. It wasn't because of the defense was stopping them. It was because they missed those shots.
You know,
and they also can't play no damn defense because how you let the Knicks come back from 20, bro?
There
you go.
Yes, right. And even that game in the Garden, they was up by 16 and they blew it, man. They blew it. The Knicks played the best defense and offense at the right time, at clutch times. That's playoffs in any sport. It's coming up big when it matters, man. And that's what this team does. And for once, Thibodeau's style of coaching is actually working for them because those teams are gassed in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks look like they just stepped on the court.
True.
And you know what the difference is? Is they change trainers in the offseason. So these guys stay healthy.
And I will say this. Thibodeau, listen to Rick Brunson a little sooner because I kept seeing it at the end of the fourth of the last game. And it was Brunson kept going to Thibodeau, like, all right, now sit these guys. And it's all right now, niggas, like, come on, sit these fucking dudes. Then Jalen had to go to him, like, come on, son. Like, he did hit him with like the come on, son. And then eventually, it took 5 minutes left in the game for him to finally sub. No, actually, it was 4:22. I actually remember exactly the time. But he finally did it. And it, like you said, Jamal, it's like, all right, he wanted to ride his system all the way out till the last second. And I get it. Like, as a person who wants to win and wants to be a part of the game, like, yeah, you want to be there for every last second. But we seen what happened to what's the name earlier in the series. Wake the fuck up. But anything can happen to anybody. Well, what do y'all think about I don't know if y'all seen the quote from Sam Cassell, who he thinks because a lot of the players aren't wearing high tops no more. That's why we're getting a lot of the Achilles injuries.
Well, this smoke this fire, fam.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
But
there's also go ahead, Ty.
No, speaking on that, and I hate to do this because that's my man's and all, but it's Kobe's fault. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. And this is me just having to be honest. I said I keep 100. This shit's Kobe's fault. Nike came out with them low top Kobe Bryants, and Kobe wore them, and the Lakers won 2 championships with him wearing them low top Kobe's that I didn't even think was decent sneakers. And when they asked Kobe about them, Kobe said he don't see no correlation with wearing high tops. He won championships and he played at a high level in them low top Kobe Bryant. And then everybody said, "Oh, we don't have to wear high tops no more." And then Kobe tore his damn Achilles. And I'm blaming Kobe for that one because Kobe started it. He started it when he had them low top Kobe Bryants. He let Nike make them low top sneakers, and Kobe won championships with him, and then came and doubled down on it. And then everybody else started doing it. And I agree, man. I remember when I was a kid and we went to the basketball court and gym or whatever, they made us have high tops. They made them tie them up tight around them ankles. Sometimes you had to loop you know how you loop the shoestrings around the whole sneaker? Make sure they would stay tight around them damn ankles. Yeah. So, yeah, I do believe that them low-top sneakers is fucking these guys up.
Yeah, finish, Jamal.
No, man. I think they was the smoke this fire. I forgot who was brought up a good point, is that players of this generation and even the ones upcoming have played so much basketball at such an early age that their tendons and muscles are worn out. The dude said he was looking at MRIs from some of these players and couldn't believe they were 18, 19 years old between rec league, high school AAU, all that shit. So they're overuse injuries. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I was not a big fan of the load management style of things, but there's something to it. I mean,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It all connects. It all connects in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking from a person who played in low top cleats.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
I liked my support in my knee area after I broke my tibia plateau. So I had a brace that I would play in. And then doctors would be like, yo, you don't want to wear a brace all the time because you have to build back your natural stability. And so I understand the high top notion of things, but I say the low top cleat thing because I liked my freedom of movement of my ankles. Now, yeah, there were times when I rolled my ankles and things like that, But where if I think that if I was in a high top, if I was in a high top and I rolled my ankle, I think a snap would have happened because of the constriction. So I think I'm on the wavelength of what Jamal last said more than the technology of the shoe. Like Ed's in the comments. Shouts out to you, Ed, too. He said low tops ain't meant to use for hoops. Low tops ain't meant to be used for hoops. That was his correction because you can't edit your comments on YouTube. And to that I say I think it's more of what Jamal said. I think a lot more. It's a lot more of how much of those muscles being used, strained, things like that on a daily basis. Like how I say I'm not a helicopter parent like that where I'm forcing my kids to do workouts and stuff. But when you think about some of these AAU kids, things like that, if they don't want it, how much are their parents pushing them to do? Which does put a lot of wear and tear and things like that on young limbs. In some cases, young limbs, young tendons, young muscles, things like that. Like, some people genetically just got it. Not everybody does. And sometimes injuries happen. The technology of the equipment can be a factor, but I'm not gonna give it the 100%. I'm not gonna give it the 100% that and I think some of that too is just that my era, back in my day, in my era, it was, what I'm saying? But that was also the style of the shoe in the street too. People was walking around in high tops. Now, you see he didn't bring up the mids because there are plenty of basketball shoes that are mids. Some of the mids cut right at the ankle. Some of them, depending on the make, it's a little above. But I could see both sides, but I think it's more on the athlete and muscle fatigue and things like that.
I'll push back on the muscle fatigue thing a little bit in the sense of I don't think enough Achilles injuries support it because at this point everybody's doing that. At this point, everybody that's in the NBA has been working since they were kids, most of them. So for the percentage of NBA players that have been working and putting their bodies through that since they've been kids in the AAU, the actual percentage of Achilles injuries is kind of low. So in my head, I'm thinking that if that was the muscle fatigue, that we should be getting a lot more of them, shouldn't we?
Yeah, possibly. I'm just saying it like Jamal said it is. The people who are saying it's the shoes, it's got to be the shoes. It's a factor that's not being spoken of. It's a factor that's not being spoken of because of course it's not everybody. And let's keep it real. This is the point that really just triggered me. It only gets spoken of as a problem when it's a superstar athlete.
If it costs somebody money.
You feel me? Things ain't usually a problem until it's the superstar athlete that goes down.
But that's reasonable. That's understandable. That's the way of the world. Like nobody, like you know what I mean? It's next man up. And we always talk about that in sports. And sports is always next man up, next man up. And it is next man up for the guy who's the seventh player off the bench that tears his Achilles. It's next man up. But it ain't next man up when your superstar does it. So I mean, I'm not mad at the fact that we bring it up when the superstar happens because when it happens to a regular guy, it's the next man up mentality comes into play there. Next man up mentality don't come into play when the superstar goes down.
But you're a pro. It's next man up whether you're number 1 or number 12 on the bench.
Yes,
it's next man up. It's next man up if you're the third string offensive tackle. That's out there. Well, tackles out there on kickoffs, but you're the third string offensive tackle who's just a blocker for field goal kicks. Now your starter goes down and your other guy's out sick or something. It's next man up. You're still a professional. You still got to come out there and do what you got to do. It's always next man up. It's just we don't know how popular that person is who's the 8th, 9th man on the bench. You're still a pro. You're still a pro. Now I get it. Yeah, everybody needs something or some trigger to spark the conversation. But it's not to compare, but it's like we all gotta be weary and everything on what we say. We gotta think about the kids from Israel first, while they're tearing up the kids from Palestine. But what about the Congo? We should be giving the Congo the same level of energy that we do Israel, Palestine, and the other war-torn place. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be one favorite over the other is what I'm trying to say. It shouldn't just be we're talking about it only because the superstar athlete went down. If this is becoming, like if Achilles injuries was becoming a rampant problem in the league, more than just the superstar player going down in an important playoff series. You get what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah.
If you're not getting the ice. No, he's taking a shit, Jamal.
Yep. To shift it now, right? The Knicks are going into the Eastern Conference Finals with the Indiana Pacers, right? And I want to know from you guys, from you Knicks fans,
Ed is right, by the way, in that comment.
How does it feel? Because I know about the rivalry. I know about the show, and the whole Reggie Miller thing and all that, right? But this don't feel like that to me. Because, not to say that I'm a Pacers fan, but I don't hate these dudes. Halliburton and them guys, man, they're likable dudes, man. They're not the bad guys like Reggie Miller was. You know what I mean? It's not like that.
It's not Tyrone, it's not the people, it's the uniform.
It's the uniform. The other thing is the Knicks are likable dudes too. There's no villains on the Knicks, right? The Knicks they play the game hard. They play clean. They do whatever. How do I feel? I feel like this is all I asked this team to do. When Leon Rose got this job, and they brought in Leon Rose in Worldwide West, we say we haven't had an NBA team in 20 years. Get us to the playoffs, make us respectable, and let's see gradual improvement every year, right? That's what they've delivered, except for the 1 year where Derrick Rose got hurt, that 1 year with Tibbs. But last year we was the second round Knicks. We are now the ECF Knicks. That is improvement. They went out and they made some moves in the offseason to change this roster. That's improvement. There's teams that have been getting lottery picks forever out the wazoo, and I ain't got, not to throw no shade, but I am like them second round Sixers and haven't gotten anywhere, right? And get another lottery pick, right? In 5 years, look what they did to this. The Knicks have been a laughing stock for so long that the media is slow to catch up. They say, yeah, this team's right, because they don't watch the Knicks. Because the Knicks never gave anybody any reason outside of their fan base to watch. So I understand it. But now you can't ignore this squad. So what do I feel about it? I'm happy. We all wanted a run back in Indiana, because another thing on the team, they dismissed the Knicks last year. But when the Knicks took out the Sixers and then was running down the Pacers, everybody started taking notice. Yeah. It was like, oh shit, these niggas may be for real, right? And then we started getting hurt. And then they were all same old Knicks shit. No, injuries took us out. And then you had Tyrese Halliburton wearing a choke thing in Game 7 when the Knicks dressed 6 players, right? And then he goes in and they go get swept by Boston. So, yeah, let's run it back now. Everybody's healthy. And if they run us out the gym and we lose, okay. We got to go back and re-up and tool up in the offseason and come back and get them. Yeah. Right? But at the end of the day, as a 3 seed, we're in the EC. We're one of the 4 best teams in the league. Can't take that away from them at this point. Coming from where we came from, when how much, the Lakers got Luka. Luka and the Lakers is going down to everybody that we hear when that trade happened. Right?
No.
Not from you, Tyrone. We know. Everybody else,
we know, not from you. But yeah, but the sports media. But at this point, you have no choice but to give the Knicks their flowers for what they've accomplished. And the Knicks are an undersized team on top of it.
Yes.
right? We starting a 6'4" power forward, man. So it's all good. But I'm proud of this team. I'm happy with what they've accomplished, and they've delivered playoff basketball for me for 4 out of 5 years with this administration, and improved every year. There's nothing else I can ask of this squad. Do we want a chip? Of course we want a chip. But we know the chip, winning a chip, how many NBA teams have won the chip in the last 20 years? 5? Right? Maybe? Right?
Yeah.
It's talent, it's availability, and it's fucking luck to get that. And all three of those things have to align. So, that being said, I hope we bust Indiana's ass and then let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I think
TJ, you look like you had your first hangover.
Nope, not yet. But I had to be here today. I'm on 3 hours sleep. Friday night was fucking epic. This is special, dogs. This is special. I got no voice. Today. This is fucking special. Like,
you was out there.
We knew we would be happy if we just got to the ECF. We knew we would be happy. But this right here, bro.
Feels like you could win it, don't it?
This is a long, long time coming. Y'all weren't there for the Rory Sparrows and the Trent Tuckers and all that bullshit.
Wow, yeah.
The Clay Anthony Earlys.
Yeah.
Clay Anthony early.
The Darryl Walker days.
The Willie Hernan Gomez.
Hey,
And all them
Frank Ntilikina never showing up.
Frank
No, not Frank Ntilikina. Frederick Weiss never showing up.
Come on, man. Michael Sweetney.
Alonzo Trier. Remember that?
Eddie fucking Curry.
Right?
Come on now.
Come
see,
on,
man, y'all
man.
see that comment, though? Y'all see that comment? That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not
Knicks
going that
fans,
far.
man, you get an inch and you try to take a mile. He talking about sweet. That's ignorant.
House. Damn.
The Pacers don't deserve that kind of language right there. The Pacers don't deserve a brum on a comment. That's rude. It's disrespectful.
Listen.
I knew the New York Knicks fans was gonna come out for real. You guys over here trying to be humble and modest. And you see that right there? Somebody done put a brum out already.
Listen. We match up.
Shouts out to the homie Lou. His internet connection ain't matching up well.
Oh no.
But no, I was gonna say, man, that you know the whole narrative.
With them, I think we're gonna give them problems.
You were
Absolutely.
in Cybertron.
Absolutely.
You were in Cybertron, TJ. Hold on.
But I'm saying the whole narrative at towards the end of the regular season was, the Knicks couldn't win any games against the top 4 teams in the league. Well, we beat Boston. All right, Cleveland didn't show up, and the Thunder's in trouble right now. So
that's today, right? The game 7.
Yeah. That's today. That's today at 3:30.
Listen, we've taken, as Knicks fans, we die hard. We take over other stadiums. Knicks fans travel. There are, and I was surprised to know, there are many more Knicks fans that I knew existed, because there is not a team in the Eastern Conference that is safe from Knicks fans when we travel. We're in a row.
Bro,
how the fuck did they let that many Knicks fans in Boston? How?
That was nuts.
Can we start comparing ourselves to Dallas Cowboy fans?
No. Not even close.
You know who we are? And actually, I'm gonna give them their flowers. You see how them Eagles fans travel and go ruin people's day and people's city?
Yeah.
That's what we doing.
Yeah.
It's an extreme parallel.
But listen.
So,
like you said, Jamal, there shouldn't have been that many Knicks fans in Boston, bro. Cheering.
Not like that.
They were yelling Deuce when he was shooting threes. That was
not
insane.
Like that.
That was insane. Come
and
on.
Ed is spot on, because there's so many more New Yorkers now living elsewhere and raising their kids Knicks fans. But
and that's the part that you said, raising the kids. That's the part that I want to get, because the youth. I mean, if you've seen we all seen the videos. I was glad that day I was working all the way up on 215th Street and didn't have to drive past Midtown, because my goodness, that scene would tell you we won the whole fucking championship.
Word.
That was madness for a second round win. That was mad. That was a little OD, but that just showed us that this new generation of Knicks fan is these young kids who OD on everything.
No.
And them young boys wild the fuck out there, but they
Which
had
I'm
a good time. Fuck it.
Yeah. I
Yo,
don't
somebody
co-sign that
showed me.
shit.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I was about to say some shit that you're probably definitely not gonna co-sign. I seen somebody showed me a video of a dude who was ballsy enough to be out there in a full Pacers uniform, and
I saw
motherfuckers hit him with bags of recycling.
God.
You know what I'm saying? But that's
Hey, man. I know the Knicks fans. I know the Knicks fans was happy when I came outside in Philadelphia and saw somebody drive past me playing Ja Rule, and I was like, "Who the fuck is playing Ja Rule right now?" And it was the I'm from New York. They was playing that, and I said, "Damn, if they brought the Ja Rule out, they happy as shit right now." You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. No, dog. It is what it is, man. On here, we are not delusional Knicks fans. We're not screaming. We've always been grounded. We've lived through the fucking tough years. We've seen the rise of the Nets in our city. We've seen what Philadelphia has been doing for 8 years, and wishing that the Knicks get their shit together. And we went from the worst front office in basketball to one of the best, and you cannot deny that at this point. What they've done in 5 years with the money, with the personnel, with everything else, this is all we ask for, is to be a player. Give us good basketball every year. Give us good basketball every year. Can the squad win the state? I don't fucking know. But you know what? It's better after the Isaiah Thomas shit and the Phil Jackson shit and the Larry Brown mess and all.
This is what they don't understand. We've been drugged through the mud, dogs. We've been drugged through the mud.
The Knicks ain't shit era of stuff that we had to survive, and we had to eat that all because it was true. It was true. We never denied.
To the face. To the face, dogs.
We had to eat it.
Tyrone, part of what I want to say too about this moment for us Knicks fans is wrestling terms. Sometimes certain people are good for the chase more than being the champions. I don't think the world wants to see us become the champions for obvious fucking reasons. But
we're gonna be insufferable. We're gonna be fucking insufferable.
I hope so.
But the energy that we're given surrounding the chase is something that you want, regardless. Even with your Lakers, just like the second round Sixers, most teams out there wish that they could just be in it for the chase, at least to get to the championship, and then you try your best for the championship. Well, you said it, Tyrone. Every year is a championship, so y'all are in the chase every year. Allegedly.
Y'all have an expectation of it, Tyrone. Y'all got an expectation of it. Meanwhile, the Knicks, as Knicks fans, we've been living good times. Every time we thought we was gonna get out the projects, something bad happened, bro.
Hey, listen, man, live in your own glory.
Okay? Michael fell through the elevator.
Don't worry about the total regulation. We ain't happy with no chase. Second round is not our championship. Okay, the championship is our championship. Okay, we're not happy being in no chase. We want
you
to
have
win
a
it all.
pedigree and you have a legacy of chips. So
Yes,
nothing short of a chip works for your squad. Right.
AKA they're Ric Flair.
Yes.
Right.
Our Knicks are Sting right now. Our Knicks are like Lex Luger right now, trying to build a Lex Luger, getting people on board with, whether it's the Lex Express or the old AWA Mid-South Wrestling Lex Luger. Like,
you finally getting over
this. Lex Luger was better than saying Sting. Y'all ain't Sting.
No, but Sting was a chaser. All right, I'll give you this. My bad, TJ. I'll give you this then. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was the perennial chase guy his whole career.
Yep.
So I'll give you that.
Yep.
Go ahead, TJ.
One of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The reason why we're so excited, because this is not a one and done year. Like we're going to be competitive for the next 3 to 5 years, and we're going to have a shot more than once at the ring.
Unlike this time, Dolan spent the rent money on Eddie Curry.
And that's what we're excited about. First of all, I didn't see this team getting as far as it has in the first year, and they haven't gelled or anything like that yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? First year Cat, first year Bridges, you know, a couple of pieces on the bench, but I didn't see it like this. They set the bar very high for themselves, but Jalen Brunson's the type of person who meets that criteria every time he gets on the court. And he's going to try to bring that expectation out of whoever's playing with him. So he's not for the fuck around. He's out there to win. That man's been a winner all his life, and he's gonna win on this level. I don't know when, but he's gonna win.
Remember,
on this
and
level.
these kids were teammates in Nova.
Yeah, they've been here before. Now it's just on the finals. I mean, Bridges and Payne were in the finals already as young kids. Anunoby was in the finals, but he was hurt. Like they know what it's there. Brunson's been to a
But
Western
the question, but to bring it back to Tyrone's point, because and TJ, you got to make your points on this thing. Tyrone mentioned he was just like, and Jamal added the point of both teams have players that like they're hard to hate. It's not it's like they're not dislikable.
There's no villain.
What is it? So
There's
what
no villain.
Right? So what is it between this rivalry that you think that it still feels like the rivalry? I personally just said it's the uniform. Jamal agreed, said it's the uniform. Ed said it's the fan base. What's y'all thought?
It's the whole fucking city. It's Boston.
No. Talking about the Pacers. We're talking about the Pacers and Knicks.
Oh, the Pacers.
It's the history.
No, that's history.
It's the history.
That's
It's last season and how last season that was some sucker shit.
Yes.
That was some sucker shit.
Yeah.
That was some sucker shit. The whole Knicks choking thing when we had no starters left and everybody was hurt. That was some sucker shit. And then for Tyrese to go on and get swept by the Celtics was that. So we want to run it back. We healthy now. Like I said, if they beat us, cool. But we healthy and we improved from last season. They were already here last season. Let's see them improve.
I'm speaking for this fan base. I'm speaking for the fan base. We wanted this is the team that we wanted. We
wanted both those squads. We wanted the Celtics and we wanted the Pacers. Because we felt last year a healthy Knicks squad would have given the Celtics a run.
Yeah. I saw that playoff tree and I was like, damn. Well, I want the Pacers, but they're not gonna get past Cleveland. So we I guess we're just gonna miss out. But the unthinkable happened. So yeah, this is the team we wanted.
I just brought that up because, like I said, my recollection, because when it first hit and it was like Knicks Pacers, I was like, oh shit, I got hyped because I remember, the Reggie Miller, I remember the Cheryl and all that, and I got kind of hyped, but then I sat down and thought about it, and I said, wait a minute, they ain't no Reggie Miller. I like all these dudes, so the hype kind of died down for me in the sense of this ain't that. You know what I mean?
It's the history. They might not have Detlef Shrimp and Rick Schmitz and the Davis boys, but the history there going all the way back to the late 80s, early 90s. It's just the history, man.
Rick Smith was just like Jokic, man. The man couldn't move, couldn't jump, couldn't do nothing, and still bust your ass. I don't understand it. He used to be like, Smith is a bum, but Smith would drop 20 on you real quick. You just like, how the fuck?
Also,
never thought Rick Smith was a bum.
No, I'm talking about
never once.
The Duncan Dutchman. No, he can play some ball.
No. In the sense of the same way I say Jokic is a bum. Jokic don't have no athletic feats. He got the dead body. He don't jump high. He don't.
Oh yeah,
move
my bad.
fast.
Your misuse of labeling again.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like that's how he's perceived. That's how you see it. And then he drops 20. Like, where that 20 come from? Like, this dude should not be a good basketball player. Physically, the way he moves, the speed, he doesn't have nothing that tells me that he's going to drop 20.
Also, Jamal, remember that series where Melo was playing the Pacers and he got blocked on that dunk? That changed the entire series right there.
Earl Hibbert, right? Was the difference in that?
I was gonna say,
Roy Hibbert, yeah.
I was gonna say that is that the squad that had Jason Kidd and Rasheed Wallace or whatever. Yo, that was a hell of a squad, man.
It was Roy Hibbert and Lance Stevenson and all of them. They were just too big. And Tyson Chandler got done.
The Knicks team
that was that squad.
And
that was that anomaly year. We had either 2013 or 2014. We had all them old dudes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That block changed the whole series. That block shot changed the whole series.
Not to mention that the Pacers coach whined his ass off last year about the refereeing in that series. Like, every day he was whining. And I'm like, oh, God, bro. Just let them play. Just stop. So, so it is what it is. And look, I'm happy what we got. I'm happy for the Knicks. This trade was probably the best offseason trade two teams have made. Because look at the Knicks and look at the Wolves.
Yes. Imagine that finals.
That's a blood match. And they're doing the same shit the Knicks are doing. They're playing the same type of way and just going at folks. So whoever wins either between Denver and OKC is going to have a tough out with them. They are athletic. Julius Randle is fucking balling.
He dropped a triple-double.
He tore Draymond Green up like he always did. Draymond Green could not do anything with him. So
he abused Draymond. He wanted him to come out to the perimeter so he could drive by him and dunk on his ass. Yeah, it was a clinic.
In my honest opinion, I think that Denver is a very, very, very bad matchup for OKC because Gobert is not that dude when it comes to getting down low with Jokic. And Denver has size. And if Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon play to their level of play, Minnesota don't have enough to beat them dudes. To be honest,
Denver's a bad matchup for anybody when they're playing their games. They're a bad matchup for anybody.
Except for the
Knicks, huh?
Who's got the best record against them the last 5 years?
I hear it.
What squad? And you know why? You know what? Who's in the pivot for the Knicks, bro?
Clips. Nigga, y'all from
Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is a pain, but so they're pain. They're a tough out for anybody. I don't know if Aaron Gordon is going to play though.
Oh, because it's hammy.
Yeah, so that's going to decide that. But I wouldn't count Denver out against anybody. Denver's
because Jamal Murray
if Jokic goes off,
give you 40. Jamal Murray can get high and give you 40 or 60.
That's it.
I don't know, man. Jamal Murray got that same sickness that Porzingis got.
Oh, so. You need to stop. You need to stop.
I'm just saying, man.
You need to stop.
Kind of shaky. When was the last time Boston went to Denver? That's all I'm saying.
So here's
I'm going to give me another beer. That's terrible.
It's two brass things. The one brass thing is I'm saying the Pacers series, I'm going Knicks in 6. And the other brass thing is, who do y'all want? Who do y'all want out of the West?
I want to be in the finals. I don't give a fuck who's
there. Don't do it.
I don't know. That's not a cop out. I just want to see us in the finals. It don't matter who we lined up against.
Yes, but I don't want to play OKC. Them boys are a track team.
Yeah.
They are a track team. And they're long, they're tall, they're super deep. Pause.
Hey, yo.
They're super deep. They got a bench. You know what I'm saying?
We let you get away with the long thing, man. God damn.
Yeah, but it's just, they're the only team that scares me. I see us matching up with everybody else except for them.
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is just a monster, bro.
You know why I see y'all matching up with OKC? Because
physically we're stronger, probably.
No, that's the thing. That's what I was about to say. Holmgren and Hammerstein, you guys can abuse them dudes. You guys really can get down on the block against them guys and punish them. They're scrawny. They're not really tough guys. And
no, bro. Hartenstein is a beast, man. Hartenstein is tough, man.
No, man, I'm telling you, y'all play that.
That was our dude.
Y'all play that.
That was our dude. We did not want to lose him, and because we had 2 7-footers who were a problem last year with those guys.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm saying that I feel like the New York style basketball can fucking chump that guy, man. I'm sorry. That's how I see him. I don't see him he just not. I don't see him as tough down there if the needy get to the gritty. That's all I'm saying.
He's tough. His problem is he can foul out. He's tough. Yeah. He's tough. He's a great rebounder, man. A great rebounder and an incredible passer. And a great passer. He scares me against Cat, depending on what Cat shows him. Now, the upside is Cat's footwork offensively can give him, like, Embiid just ragdolled Hartenstein. Embiid got Hartenstein 5 fouls in like 9 minutes, man. Yeah, that's the problem. You know, and Cat can probably do the same thing. What scares me about OKC is their height. The Knicks are not a tall team. It's their height and their length and their wingspan. But at this point, I just want them to get to a final. I don't care who we play. We went up against the defending champs. At this point, you can't duck anybody. We had Detroit. That was a tough ass team we had to play in the first round. We take whoever's available. You know, our eyes just trying to get a chip. OKC, to me, is the best team in the league and has been all year.
That'd be wild if the top 2 teams didn't make it back to the conference finals.
I would love that. Parity is what makes sports great.
Oh.
But after TJ's moment,
already out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
After TJ's pause moment, I just had to bring up to y'all one of the greatest pause moments in recent history that I've just watched.
Oh yeah.
Cereal. I'm a cereal glizzy eater. You know what I'm saying?
Pause. Yo, come on.
Pause.
Everything.
Yo, I fucking lost it. I sent that shit to a bunch of people. A friend from Arkansas was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what the lingo is. I said, glizzy used to be the original word for a pew-pew. Then the next generation, for some reason, turned it into our pew-pews. And so now when you get looked at as a glizzy eater, you look like you're what's one of New York's favorite sayings, or even Philly's favorite sayings? You look like a D eater. For those who don't get it. But that shit right there was hilarious. But what's not hilarious before we get to Tyrone's movies and stuff, because they actually did talk about Sinners. He almost said Thinners. I almost said Thinners too, but Sinners. What's not a game is, do you see that this bitch Kristi Noem and the producers of Duck Dynasty want to make a game show about getting American citizenship?
Yep.
Yeah. That's some foul shit. Well, I mean, it's on brand for these motherfuckers that's in office now. It's on brand for them with the shit they're doing. And in pre-show, I said, yeah, this is just some Running Man shit, what they're trying to do. And just devaluing people who don't have the same hue as them. That's all it's about. Right? Just completely devaluing folks from other countries who are not of the same hue. And gladiator games, making making people fight to the death for shit, for people who are desperate, taking advantage of their desperation. So fuck them all to hell for that. And you see the shit they're doing, and I don't mean to veer too far, but they're bringing in the Afrikaners as refugees and giving them a path to citizenship from South Africa.
We were going to get there right after.
Yeah.
We were going to get there right after.
So fuck these people. Fuck everything they stand for. Fuck them to hell. All right. And that's my piece. Go ahead, Amakwa.
It's sad. I mean, I get it. You know, you chasing that dollar. You know, you want to try to make a buck out of this shit. But like, god damn, like how low would you go for a dollar? You know, these people is
there's no bottom for these folks. There's no bottom.
There's no bottom. Yeah,
no.
You got this administration breaking up families and you know, sending people home. You know, back to their mother countries or whatever you want to call it.
No. Most of these people are being sent to other countries, not their home countries.
That's so wild to me, man. And here we are trying to make a buck out of it. I mean, God, I mean, but who's to blame here? Because how did it even get out that you know these people from Duck Dynasty want to do this shit? A&E, you know,
they said he wanted to do it from Obama and Biden administration. He's been wanting to do this.
I don't think that it's just a money issue. I think that it's also a means to spin a narrative. We know that a lot of these reality shows, so-called reality shows, ain't reality. So they want to get this reality show, and then they can act like they're actually trying to help these people. They can spin a narrative to make it look like they're trying to get these people to get citizenship. They can spin a narrative to make it look like they're making it easy for these people, and that the laws is the reasons why they're getting deported and all this stuff. It's a whole spin on it, on the whole thing. They're not going to do this reality show and then tell you the truth about why these people ain't getting citizenship and all that.
I get that.
Doctor. So it's politics too.
I get what you're saying, Tyrone, but I think the argument that we have is the people that that want to do this show. Okay, Duck Dynasty. So we already know which side of the aisle they're leaning on. I don't think that they're trying to do this to help people out. In my opinion, I don't think they're trying to do this to try to help people out.
No,
dude. The alleged prizes
is they trying to expose people, and it's nothing good's going to come out of it.
That part, they're trying to expose more people for, you know, to think, oh, we might be able to get them to bite because, you know, whatever, give it, you know. And the fucked up thing is like a show I was listening to yesterday, like they're gonna have them giving their story for why they're gonna be, you know, why they're on the show, why they're trying to fight for. Like, as soon as we hear their stories, it should be episode 1 is done and that's the last one, because yo, these stories are gonna be so freaking heartbreaking. It's like, why the fuck are we not helping these people out? Fuck this show. If they even get it off, which they probably won't, but they might, because we are in a reality show administration right now. Our president is a reality star, and the prizes that I heard were ridiculous. Like, they're talking about a $10,000 Starbucks card, lifetime supply from 76 gas, you know, from the 76 Phillips 76 gas stations. Where the fuck is there 76 gas stations? And I'm not saying 70, you know what I mean, the brand 76. There ain't none along the East Coast that I know of.
I'm about to say, ain't none in New York.
It definitely ain't none in New York. And then what is it? Like, I think it said something about like 10,000 sky or 100,000 sky miles or some shit to fly. And they're talking about the losers are gonna get sent back to their countries, like.
Because here's the narrative. And I'm telling you, this is how they spin the narrative. All of the so-called winners, or the people who win, or the people who get citizenship, they're going to be the stories they ain't talking about. They're going to be the stories of sadness, the stories of, oh, I had to get away from my country, depression, all these sad stories. And those are the people that's going to get citizenship, do the right thing. Those are the people that's going to win. All of the losers are going to be people that, oh, we just found out that this guy was a big-time cartel drug dealer back in his old country, and he's fleeing for safe to get exonerated from his crimes and all that. And that's how they're going to do it. So they're going to make it like the people that don't get in and all the people that are getting deported and all the people that are getting sent back are these criminals, or they got a bad history, or they did something, or they just fucked up and couldn't get their citizenship. They're going to spin that narrative. There's no way they're not going to let a good person come on there, tell a sad story about how they was in the United States, and then at the end, they're going to deport them, bro. They're not going to show you. They're not going to put that out there that that's what they're doing.
Well, they're going to try their best, TJ, because this shit is ridiculous.
Did you see Trump bringing in the South African refugees? The 43
That's where we were gonna spin it to next, because I had something to say about that.
That's insane.
Because what I was gonna say about that is we here on this show, unlike everything else, and then again, things spin like how I said it before. People only pay attention when the bigger name person said it. And everybody's like, oh, Kamala Harris told y'all. Kamala Harris told y'all, but we were telling y'all the same shit before Kamala Harris was saying it too. This whole administration was being run off of racism. You got this stupid game show idea. Trump, again, the motherfucker who don't read, who don't pay attention to shit, but just listening to the words of his $1 billion Dutch South African and Elon Musk. Ain't none of those farmers being unalived over there.
Zero.
The people that are coming are the people who got money, who are from the towns where they have whites only towns in South Africa. And you're telling me I could get instant citizenship, which will lead to dual citizenship for them? You're giving them the Disney Speed Pass while kicking out the people who are melanated, who probably have more ancestral rights to this land than you do.
There is no probably. They're lucky they still
right.
They're
right.
lucky they still have.
No, I'm talking, but I'm talking on our land too.
Mm-hmm.
You're kicking out brown people who their lineage probably ties to somewhere along this continent more than any of theirs does. But because you think these white Dutch South Africans are being prosecuted or persecuted for no reason, you want to save them. This goes to the same situation too. When it was under Joe Biden, they were just allowing Ukrainians in, no problem. But they were actually legitimately going through war crimes. While the South Africans is just, we're not feeling comfortable in what we took over anymore. And then also, and we all see what Ibrahim Traoré is doing in Burkina Faso.
Yep.
So it's a lot of shit, man. A lot of shit. And it's the white South African thing, TJ, Jamal, like this shit is just this. It just proves the point that the Startify podcast had made for years and leading into this administration. They're moving off racism. People tried to pull in all different types of other political reasons. Oh, it was the Democrats' lack of support for Palestine. I think no. Those are yes, they were factors for some people, but the overarching thing behind this whole administration was pure evil, racism, and bigotry at work. And y'all didn't want to hear it. Y'all didn't want to see it because y'all just didn't want to be. You didn't want to get the label of being a bigot.
Yeah, it's I mean, at the end of the day, at this point, we don't have to dissect or argue or whatever. I mean, it's just straight white supremacists and white supremacy what they're doing. Trump slipped up on video and said the only reason he's bringing them over here is white. Then he tried to clean it up. Y'all catch that? It fell right out of his mouth. He said because
Yep.
it's because they're white. So they're trying to change the narrative, saying these people are persecuted. How are you going to be persecuted on land that you stole? They don't understand the gift they were given. They should worship Nelson Mandela like he's a deity, because he's the one that told everybody, okay, the way to move forward is we have to have forgiveness and whatever. Those people are well within their rights after what happened to apartheid. They're well within their rights to seek whatever retribution they feel like they deserve because of the systematic rape, murder, and the theft of wealth that these Afrikaners did to these people. That cannot be denied. That's out in the open. And if this pocket of this political movement of MAGA here wants to try and have revisionist history, go for it. Nobody else anywhere agrees with them. Anywhere. Even the Afrikaners don't agree with them. They just think they have a right to it. But it's bullshit. So if they want to go that route, let them do it. But to give them this citizenship and all these other countries where stuff is going, they won't take any refugees from. And the people that are coming here, right, from these refugees, these Afrikaner refugees, are complaining, upset that they have to speak English. And if you're over there, and if you're Afrikaner and you can't make it over there, you're just lazy. It's set up for you to succeed over there. You're just trash at this point because it's a false narrative. You are not being persecuted over there. It's hot basura if you think if you can't make it over there. You just don't have any worth. Jamal. And coming over here is not going to help you. Wait till you get over here and you find out this motherfucker that brought you over here ain't going to do shit for you. You're a showpiece. You're a fucking trick pony. A dog that he's not going to feed once the cameras turn off. Well, so fuck you in two countries.
That was the point. That was the point that I was going to make. It was like, y'all want to do that? Are y'all sure y'all actually want to come over here and get the instant citizenship and then really see what it's like to live over here? Y'all gonna run back to Africa anyway. Y'all don't. I was like, y'all
will.
Y'all got it.
Because you say the wrong shit here. Yeah, the hand, fist, and foot way is going to catch up with you here.
And also, again, it's white. It's white Dutch South Africans with money. Trump is only listening to. That's what they are. Trump is only listening to the money. The people that are coming are people who are wealthy over there and acting like it because, hey, I'm getting the fast pass. I'm going to do it. Again, they're moving off of money. You see the dumb shit he tried to say in the beginning when he was talking about giving a $5 million gets you a gold card, which is instant citizenship and all this other shit. It's the money. He wants you because you got the funds. And your funds might end up in his hands because he's doing you the favor. They're stupid.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. The ones that are coming over here, go for it, TJ. My bad.
You perfectly said how I feel every time I see a homeless white person. I said, you just didn't try, dogs. This is
that's remember the Godfrey joke from a few years ago. Godfrey said, "You wasting your white privilege.
You wasting. It's a waste. You're literally in a country where they are the extreme minority and they have 90% of the wealth or something close to it. If you can't make it there, you are a waste of. You ain't good anywhere. You ain't good in the bag anywhere.
Well, you know what? If that's what I say, if you're a good-looking girl and you ain't got no money and you poor, you out here struggling, go to Vegas. Go to Vegas because all you need is a bikini, and I promise you're going to have money in the day. You take a bikini.
You got 5 spots. You got Vegas, you got New York, you got LA, you got Miami, you got Atlanta. And you can't make it. You got 5.
And you got the internet. You don't need to go to them places no more.
The fifth estate. There you go, right there. So yeah, man. Like I said, if any of them come over here, the few that come over here that have no ends and got nobody, that dude is going to leave you. He do not, bro. You've been sold a false bill of goods. And the thing is, when they're leaving, they're forfeiting their lands over there and stuff. They can't go back to it. So they try to go back home. It's done. And I'm pretty sure the folks that stayed there are not happy with what they're doing.
No, because you're giving back. You're giving up shit now.
Yeah, that, and you're making the minority over there even smaller. And God forbid, I don't know if y'all follow South African politics. If you want to look up a dude named Julius Malema, that nigga is not playing.
That's the dude. That's the dude that was having like the them like fucking stadium full like rallies.
Yes,
and shit, right?
yes, sir. Yeah. If he gets in power, yeah, y'all go. Listen, so you better get right with God. That dude is different. So they better, they've had a lot of times since Nelson Mandela came out of jail and said, okay, kumbaya, let's all get together and figure this out. And they wasted those 30 years.
And see, I guess it's because I'm a product of where I grew up. There is nothing wrong with everybody being able to get together. It's just the issue is people don't see through the bullshit that they're fed on a daily basis, to where if we did, and I've said this on this show, this is part, I think, why this administration is also scared too. Why they're persecuting people who are protesting in colleges and making noise out here in the streets everywhere in the world. Like, it's because they know if we actually were unified as a people, and I'm putting black and white together because my hands are ashy as fuck, so I'm representing the other side. If we work together, they fucking know we overpower them.
Yep.
We have the numbers against the oligarchs. We have it. That's what they're really afraid of.
Like they said, there's a very thin line between the boss and the muscle. You know what I'm saying?
But we didn't get the voice from the one person who is certified from the motherland a few countries over.
Oh, you're talking to me. Man, I'm from the Bronx, man. I'm from continental United States. But no, man, it's shit's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't have much to say on it because I haven't done my research too tough on it. But that whole shit, is crazy. I don't know. I don't have much to say on it.
I get it.
The balls to try to run the narrative back from a time where it was like fucked up for minorities in this country is insane, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to just roll everything back, and it's not going to work. It can't work. It doesn't apply to what we're doing in life right now. You can't hide shit no more. It's out in the open. So it's going to hurt more than it's going to help. However they think this is going to play out for them, it's not going to work out. People are not just going to sit around and take shit no more. It's not. Those days are over. Those days are long gone. And if you really wanted to get live, it's going to get live. It's going to get active out here. People are just not going to stand around and take shit.
The younger generation has let people know they ain't taking shit easy. Like I said, look at what our Knicks fans did in the street after just a series win. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing, holding back people's diplomas because the kid wanted peace in Palestine. Fucking kicking kids out of school just because they're protesting against the Jewish religion and Israel. And people ain't playing no more. Like you said, people ain't playing no more.
Listen, in another,
they're not even protesting against that religion or anything like that. What they're protesting is against the violence, the
genocide.
The genocide. That's all
genocide.
that is. That's what they're protesting against. It's not against any religion, because those same people are like, yeah, what's happened to the other side was fucking terrible too. They're not saying that that's not wrong, but what they're saying, is you can't just keep dropping bombs on people who already have nothing. You can't do that.
What it is it reminds me of how one of the fights I almost got into back in the day on the job. When I said, I told somebody, if you stay off your fucking phone for a minute, then maybe also we could get the job done quicker. After he tried to say, if I move my fat ass faster, and he turned the, if you stay off the phone into, oh, you talking about my kids, aka like back in the day, it'd be like all somebody would just say is your mother, and that's it. And it'd be, oh, you're talking about my mother? You said my mother's this, you said my mother's that, you're turning it. That's what those people are doing. They're turning, stop killing these people into, oh, but you hate these people. Like Tyrone says, spinning the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you want to know why
the narrative can't be spun but so long.
Look at what Rubio tried to do with the child labor laws in Florida. It was like, oh, we can get kids to work all these wild ass hours. Whose kids was going to be doing that? Whose kids?
These kids today barely want to get out the house for a job.
Exactly. You think kids are going to go work in the field for 8 hours a day to pick some fucking berries? That's madness, dog. That's madness.
Out of here.
They'd be like, I'd rather be broke. I'd rather be broke. It's easier.
Yeah. My 16-year-old daughter would rather be broke right now. She refuses to get a job. She's just like, fuck.
You can't. These kids are everything. They're exposed to everything. You can't pull the wool over their eyes and like hide your hands and no, it's over.
No, and you know what though? Good for them. Good for them. They're not gonna fall for the damn okie doke. You know what I mean? And a movement needs to be started. Movements always start with young folk. That's the way it is. When young folks are engaged, if you look throughout history, when young folks are engaged is when shit happens.
Yep.
I get that, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they lazy as fuck too.
Yeah, man.
Right. I mean, they're lazy as fuck for taking the jobs, but they're really not that lazy. Some of these young kids are not that lazy to get out and speak for people.
No,
right.
Like
I mean,
listen,
I mean, going out there picking avocados and shit under that fucking sun for 12 hours. No kid should be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But shit, like you can still go ahead and get a job though at Walmart though. Like
listen,
well,
they're useless when they're working at Lowe's. They don't know what shit is that. You know what I'm saying?
It's never in that section.
I can't speak for Dan. But I can speak for me. I am a firm enabler of my 16-year-old daughter's laziness. Because when I was a kid, as soon as I turned 16, my mom told me, if you want, I'll feed you and I'll keep a roof over your head and I'll keep clothes on your back. Anything else you want, you got working papers, you can get your ass out there and get it yourself. And that's how it was. So I had to get a job. My 16-year-old daughter is lazy. She don't want to work, right? But I enable her because she go, Dad, cash at me $20, and I send it. You know what I mean?
And
like,
see, and you can't speak for me because I grew up where my parents said, be a kid. 16, you ain't no adult yet. It's okay. You can be a kid. I was a kid who I didn't ask for shit. I didn't ask. I should have. I was afraid to ask for shit because I hated being denied. That's still in my makeup to this day.
The word no was very strong back in the day, bro.
But my kids, same thing. My daughter's about to go to college. We're not going to tell her you have to get a job because you're doing the right things to guide yourself in life.
Right.
Be kids. If you want to say, hey, mommy, daddy, I want to try working. Any of my daughters, hey, I want to get working papers. My friends are doing it. Okay, cool. Because you chose to want to do that. I tried to get working papers, but it was just like, nah, whatever. And then, I'd be like, oh shit, my boy's getting $700-800 for the whole summer, like cleaning at one police plaza or working parks department for each different summer youth program job. You know what I'm saying? But it was also like, yeah, but I didn't have to go clock in nowhere. I was still able to be a child.
I'm not telling my 16-year-old daughter she has to get a job, but also this girl a DoorDash McDonald's for $25 for just her in one sitting. And it's like, if you want to do shit like that, you need to take your ass to work.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get you. I didn't not get you. I understood what you mean. I understand what you mean. Shit, we do that at work, but the difference is it's our money. We can do that, you know.
Right.
Listen, I worked because I was getting tired of getting made fun of for wearing tight clothes to school every week. So I had to get a job, bro.
Are we gonna go back to the kangaroos and shit?
No.
I had to do something. It was getting too much.
No, I really got a job because my high school started having the pizza and the hot wings that you could pay for. And the little iced tea juices and the pizza and the hot wings that you could pay for. And I wanted that shit because that made me, I don't know, that gave me a sense of pride that I didn't have to go get in that hoagie line. I can go over here and pay for some hot wings. And I knew for a fact that if I asked my mom for money to buy hot wings when they had free lunch, I was probably gonna get flat. So
I could dig it. Like for me, my youth was the most I needed was have some money to get some snacks or whatever, and arcade money, sometimes comic book money, things like that. Because most of the other shit like that, there's certain things. Like my father just walked outside now. He made sure we had stuff to play, you know, at least play outside. We had a basketball hoop. Like I always like to say, we were the only black kids around that had hockey goals, hockey sticks. We had lacrosse sticks. We played Little League baseball. Like we did things to where it was, like I said, my parents just said, yo, y'all be kids. But when I got to that 18, I'm not in school no more. It was just like, you want to be here, just at least have a job or at least go to school. But that was when I turned 18, the legal adult age. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't forced to have to do that when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? He made sure that we at least had lunch money and shit. Chicken patties and pickles and chicken patties was the shit in high school. That was the shit in high school. I'm not like my kids now where my kids fucking come home hungry every day because they fucking can't stand school lunch. But that's part due to Eric Adams trying to make the whole public school system be a fucking vegan like he is. And changing up
had me a shorty out in Queens.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man. I mean, times is changing. The kids are changing, but the kids are changing for the good. And we talked about this last week, which I forgot to. I'm gonna upload the audio to that today because I forgot to do it during this week. But we talked about it last week and how I broke down. I was like, yo, our generations are similar. They're just in different formats. We kind of go through the same shit. We're just in a different format with the youth now. That's why we as parents, we can see certain things that our kids are doing because it relates to some shit that we did to us. We did in our era. Same with some of the revolutionary types nowadays, just to spin it back. A lot of the revolutionary types, I think it's what's coming is each generation is taking that step closer and closer and closer to the power structure. That's what they're afraid of right now. That's why they're trying to villainize and fucking make like protesting and stuff like that illegal. Also, too, because of this man's ego and how dare you speak against the dear leader, because that's what he wants. It's coming as clear as day as I used to say it on this fucking show, and as we used to say on this show, it's showing more and more every single day. This guy wants to be the Kim Jong-un of America, treated like the dear leader. You can't say nothing bad about him. You kiss his ass, you get favors, yada, yada, yada. And the youth is recognizing that shit and is saying enough.
I'm just hoping that he just keeps doing what he's doing, and we just my hope is that the time just goes by. I'm just hoping that the time just goes by and we just get through it, and we just get through it because time is flying, and I'm hoping that the time goes by, and next thing you know, that 4 years hit, and that whatever he was trying to orchestrate with him staying president and all that bullshit that didn't happen yet, and that 4 years hit, and he's just out. and that's just going to be it. That's the only thing we can hope for. That time is going to flow by.
I think that's what we all. I think that's what we all hope for.
Right, but don't be surprised that does not happen, because I was going to say earlier, man, that they're already laying the groundwork to do away with this damn Constitution. You know what I'm saying? The shit that they're doing is so contradictory to what's written in the Constitution. You know, so I mean, don't be surprised, man, if 4 years comes and goes and he's up for re-election.
Yeah, but what do you think about the theory of the more you fight it, the more you ignite it? You know what I mean? Like if we start protesting and bringing it up, that's going to make them push for it even faster and harder. So I'm trying to say I know we want to fight against it, but we kind of want to hope the time goes by, because the more you fight it, the more you ignite it, bro.
But the more you fight it, the more.
I'm sorry. Us as I was going to say that us as a people, we are the problem that we have, that, and I always say it, man, is that we are very forgetful. You know what I'm saying? We live in the now, and things that happen that are happening today, come 4 years from now, no one's gonna bring that shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
our
they
lives
will.
will be forever changed.
Yes, they will, and it ties into Tyrone's. The more you fight it, the more you ignite it. The reason why they are trying to be on a rapid pace now is because that fire been lit. That fire for them has been lit since the 2020 election, where he lost, and they think it was stolen, but his ass lost. The fire's been lit from then. That's why you've seen it's only been 100 and probably 20 something days now, maybe if that. You've seen so much happen in such short of a fucking time, to where, like O said, they're giving the middle finger to the Constitution on a daily basis, while saying what they're doing and people being against it is unconstitutional. They've been spitting in our faces, spitting in the Constitution's face from day one of this newer administration. And everything has been on the fast track. And the only people that's putting it out there for us to criticize is themselves, because they're fucking mad that we're just not going along with the get along. They want us to just go along and get along. And it's like, no, because we called your bullshit out and we see your bullshit. You just seen that they're talking about with the tax plan that's supposed to be coming, that these guys have been working on. They're already cutting down Medicaid crazy. They're talking about, if you're able-bodied, you need to get up out there and work, like on some no more retirement shit. You know what I'm saying? They're doing bullshit like that right in our fucking faces. And the fucked up thing is the idiots that just didn't want to be called racist, or the idiots who thought that they were going to get no taxes on their tips and wanted brown people out of this place. They fucking fell for the bait, and now they're getting it in the butt too. But they're the clowns making the excuses for why they're getting it in the butt. No pause for them.
Not two. Two means we getting
pause
it in
for
the
them. That's a pause. That's
they getting in the butt too. That means that includes us. So that's why I paused on that.
But in a way, yeah. In a way, yeah. But these people were too stupid. It's just we'll stop all of this shit with this shit. Like, I've seen videos recently with progressives shutting down Trumpsters. The kid was talking to a woman about the whole autism situation, and dumbass RFK Jr. trying to find the reason why we're getting autism, and the kid laid it out to him, which is some shit that I've been saying for a while. Like, it's not that autism has progressed, it's that science progressed to diagnose it and treat it better and treat it faster. That's where the rise of some shit that's probably always been here came from. Again, we talked about it maybe a week or two ago. Everybody who was like that, nobody looked into it. You were just called what? Retarded. And you was just lumped under the retarded label. You know what I'm saying? Now, science, oh my goodness, People put in research, people put in work to give diagnosis for these things. So now we can recognize it faster. But you got people still biting the bait of, yeah, but there's still got to be something. Even when it's laid in your face that what it is science got better. It's not that autism just happened to ramp up. No, science got better to make those numbers increase, to make it more identifiable so we can then treat it. But these idiots who, again, I'm repeating, they bit the bait. They're still making excuses for all the in-between shit just to feel like they're right. That's why I'm saying those people are the fucking idiots who are taking it in the butt the way they are because they're willing to bend over and just change positions to catch it in a new angle just to make themselves look like they're part of the team. And it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. So in some respects, maybe the whole generation isn't that smart. Maybe they're not that smart. I don't know. All I know is I ain't falling for they dumb shit. And that's that. Tyrone, movie talk. We can't stay away from Sinners because, like I said, the brothers talked about Sinners already. I think the start of one of the episodes not too long ago.
Well, my thing was like I do entertain, my podcast about entertainment and stuff like that, and I look into so I watch a lot of movies and I watch a lot of TV and films and stuff so I can be up on it. And every year, there's all these movies and these summer blockbusters, and we look forward to all these movies and these things coming out. And I'm feeling a little disappointed this year, and I don't know if it's not going to continue because I saw Thunderbolts, I saw Sinners, I saw the Bloodlines, Final Destination. I've seen the trailers for Fantastic Four, and I'm not particularly excited. And the Superman is just getting dumber and dumber to me. The more I see it, the more, I don't know, it looks dumb. And now I'm just like, we're not going to have no blockbuster films this year. Like, I don't see where we're going to have like a good year for movies in 2025.
That's because of the strike.
Is it?
You think it's remnants from the strike?
Yeah, it pushed everything back. And some stuff didn't get made. I think they're still feeling that.
What year was the strike?
2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same anymore. It's not going to be the same either. I don't think, personally.
But even with that, we was built up. I mean, I thought, I really thought like we were built up. Like I'm not going like with Sinners, right? This was supposed to be a big film. This was supposed to be a blockbuster. This was Ryan Coogler. This is Michael B. Jordan. This is supposed to be that movie. And I saw it, and I'm like, yeah, it's good, but it's not enough to like. It's not the movie of the year. It's not a blockbuster to me. And
compared
then I was
to
like,
what though? What are you comparing it to?
I'm comparing it to blockbuster films, any good movies. Like I'm comparing it to like what I would consider to be a blockbuster, what I would consider a movie that we're gonna say, this is an Oscar film, or this is a movie a year, or this is something that like is going to get people excited to go back
most
to the
most blockbusters aren't winning awards. You know what I'm saying? Like Independence Day or some shit like that. Like those type of movies are not winning awards. They're big because it's a lot of action and people are out seeing it and they enjoy it. But like, I don't know.
I just want it. I don't know. I like to go to movies and I like to enjoy them, but I also like to see like the impact of films. Like every year when I do my movie review and stuff, I want movies that I want to be like hype about.
Streaming is cut into that. Streaming is cut into all of that shit, bro.
Yeah.
The apps have cut into all that. They make good fucking shows on these apps and put together good movies on these apps that should be film worthy, and you can get them in the palm of your hand instead of going to the movie theater.
So we talking about Marvel and everybody. I mean, it's all over all of the social media. It's about Marvel and about Doomsday and Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and all of this shit that's coming up, right? And we were built up to the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four being the kickoff and the recovery of Marvel and bringing them back to life. And the Fantastic Four does not look that exciting to me. And Thunderbolts is not good enough for me to be like, oh, Marvel's back. You know what I'm saying? It's not good enough for me to be like, oh, Marvel's going to be. It's not good enough for me to push the narrative that I got to see Fantastic Four or that I got to be excited for this Avengers Doomsday shit.
I think they did it on purpose like that because when the Doomsday shit comes out, it's going to be built up. You don't want the intro movie to be better than the main course. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be this.
Not to mention, we have low expectations for Fantastic Four because the last couple of ones were not that good.
Yes.
Yeah. That's me putting it very lightly. You know. So I mean, yeah.
I want to address Ed's comment that Marvel films don't win awards. No, I'm saying like every year you have the blockbuster films that when has Marvel ever won an award? I'm the one. I did a whole podcast episode on the fact that horror movies and rom-coms and superhero films are not the films that's looking. It's called looking for Oscar. And I said horror movies are not going to be Oscar-winning films. Comic book movies are not going to be Oscar-winning films. But what I'm saying is like blockbuster films, like what determines a blockbuster is the asses in the seats, right? And I'm not seeing anything that I can say definitively is going to be a blockbuster film this year.
Sinners is a blockbuster. Sinners is a blockbuster.
Yeah, but I thought, but see, that's where Sinners
fits.
But that's where Sinners fits the other agenda. See, there's the blockbuster films that I say that they're gonna put the asses in the seats that I'm excited for. That's gonna blow up and all that. But then I also want Oscar winners too. I want movies that's gonna win Academy Awards. And I thought Sinners was gonna be that. And Sinners is Sinners putting asses in seats. People like it. People see it. It's an enjoyable film. Sinners ain't gonna win no Oscars, bro. So now I'm looking for the Oscar movies, and I'm looking for that definitive blockbuster. And I'm not sure we're gonna get it this year.
Sinners sounds like it actually might win a ton of awards. But what I'm getting from this, Jamal, is excuse me, Tyrone wants that old thing back. Tyrone wants that reason to get back to the movie theaters again. But like TJ described, that shit is it's almost dead and done. Yeah, I drive past this one movie theater that used to be the spot out here before they moved. They moved it to the Staten Island Mall. They opened up an AMC. Used to be a Regal up over here, top Forest Avenue. Like, I mean, people who are the diehards are the ones that are still going to the movies. People who want to see the Marvel movies, the big splashy things, they still want to see on big screens because the shits look amazing. But most of the stuff, like you said, award-winning things that mean something, the quality, you can make your money elsewhere nowadays. You don't have to, because Jamal, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it does cost a lot to get yourself in theaters.
It does. The entire infrastructure and system and way that movies are put out is changing because it was frankly bullshit. Once the banks came in and bought the studios and came up with their formulas and whatever, that's why everything turned to sequel, prequel, reboot, and you got a lot of trash out there. The acquisition of content, not necessarily good content, is what drove the day, and their algorithm to try and predict what's going to sell and what's not going to sell is the reason why a lot of great movies aren't made. Now, as a filmmaker, I completely love cinema. There's cinema and there's movies, all right? And there's an experience of going into a theater on a giant screen and getting that quality sound to go along with the visuals and seeing something debut. That's the key. Because when you're making a movie, everything at your disposal tells the story. How you edit the sound, how you shoot it, how you color it, it's all part of the storytelling process. And you can only get that from cinema. Now, I don't like streaming movies. I think streaming movies look like just TV movies. They don't feel, that's not cinema to me. So I am biased. I want to see something on the big screen. Now, I saw Sinners. I thought Sinners is the best film I've seen this year. Is it super complex? No, it's not. It is straightforward storytelling but it's the messaging and the layers about what Sinners did that it says and speaks on that what makes it so good. The difference also is seeing Sinners on IMAX and seeing it in in regular format is two different things. It's two very, very different experiences. And the same thing I got from Oppenheimer. I saw Oppenheimer, which won a bunch of Oscars, regular format, and then I saw it in IMAX, and I understood what the director was trying to do. So Sinners is the best thing I've seen this year. We don't get nearly as many good movies as we used to because the creativity is just not there. It's because the studios don't want that shit. They want to be able to predict dollars, so they don't want to take chances on new stories or new storytellers. So they keep repackaging the same shit and giving it to you.
But
What I
Jamal,
love about Sinners, yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm not to cut you off, right? So when I went to go see Sinners, right, I specifically looked for it on IMAX. In New York, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere in my area on IMAX. So that's another issue that I have, with these big movies like that. To find a theater that's showing it. I think Ed just said in the comments that, and I didn't even notice. That just blew my fucking mind. That the Bronx is just one movie theater in the Bronx. That's crazy.
True. And it's area. And now IMAX is expensive, so not a lot of places can. So you got to travel for IMAX, especially if it's like IMAX, like 70 millimeter and shit like that. Like I travel when I go see IMAX shit. I travel. I go to even though I live in Central Jersey, I go all the way to the city. I go to Columbus Circle.
That's my favorite movie theater.
Yeah,
that's my favorite
and
movie theater.
There's an IMAX spot, a nice the Chamonix over in Pennsylvania also has IMAX, which every now and then, like I saw Nosferatu over there in IMAX, and it's just different. You can't unless you got a home surround sound system and a giant ass screen. You can't replicate how certain movies were meant to be seen. So,
Ed, I
but
gotta
there
ask
is,
Ed, though.
yeah, go for it.
No, go ahead.
No, there is a lack of great films, and it's been that way for like 5-10 years. Television has gotten better because television is where the indie writer and the indie storyteller and people willing to take chances have gone, because movies are, the budget is so big that the people who invest in movies aren't giving unknowns a chance. They're going to stick with people who have proven to make something that made them money. Not good, just made them money. They would rather fail with a known than take a risk on an unknown. And that is the toxic trait of filmmaking, and which is why everything is so bad. Right? And I saw Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts was good. It did not blow me away. I want to see some real Marvel shit. I applaud Fantastic Four because having had 2 tries at Fantastic Four and both being underwhelming, they are trying something different. I applaud that risk. They're setting that shit when it's like the 60s in the space race. I get it.
Yeah.
But
to Ed's thing though, I'm trying to picture where in the Bronx, because I'm only thinking 161st Street. Because when I lived in the Bronx, I actually lived not too far from where there was a movie theater right by the Home Depot on the east side of the Bronx, by the 6 train. But it's crazy to hear say that like the Bronx is a movie theater desert. But most people in the Bronx, and I know TJ, y'all was born up there and stuff like that. Most people traveled outside the Bronx regardless. We used to go to New Rock City for our movies. We would go right past the movie theater that was near us to go to New Rock City. Then eventually they shut them down. But it's a part of today's thing. And like
Bay
Jamal
Plaza.
said, I could see. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bay Plaza. I think they still got one.
Yeah, that's the one that that's what it is.
Yeah. Bay Plaza still got one. Yeah, and we used to not go there that often because the horror stories of how bad and nasty those theater seats were.
Whitestone was bad.
Yeah, Whitestone was the one I lived near. Whitestone was the one I lived
that well. Last time I went to the movies in the Bronx might have been 94, and I think I was in a double date with O.
You know what?
But the point that Jamal was making, my bad. Go ahead, TJ.
I just wanted to say I saw Return of the Jedi on Fordham Road when Fordham Road had a movie theater.
Wow.
That's dumb long ago.
old.
Yeah, I remember growing up, man. Parkchester had 3 movie theaters.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. We used to go to the one in Parkchester too, right in the middle of the buildings.
Yep.
But the point I was
saw-
going to
I
make
saw
to
Fresh
tie
movie
with,
there.
oh wow, y'all old niggas. But Jamal, the comparison you made is with the industry. It's working the same thing in music too. It's like
music. They tested it out in
shows
music.
because you can get you can get yourself up by the bootstraps in today's era easier than you can trying to go get a record deal, trying to go be a part of a label. Because now, if you want to be a part of a label, the labels, just like the movie industry, they're just looking for their instant return. They're looking for their money to come right back to them. That's why when J1 Con happens, we're gonna have this brother Jamal be a part. Him and the homie T Smith. We're having our panel discussion. This year's Blackfinity panel discussion is going to be to learn about being an indie filmmaker and what steps you need to take, what things you need to do. Coming soon. All the more announcements about J1 Con is coming, but that's just a little tidbit of what's to come from us.
And I do want that old thing back. I ain't gonna lie. I want people to go to the theaters. And my theory is this, right? So, is it worth it? Like I know that Thunderbolts is out, and you got streaming services and streaming got these streaming movies, and you got a lot of good television. You got a lot of things that you can watch, and by the time you turn around, Thunderbolts will be on some kind of Disney Plus or some kind of streaming, and you can just see it there, and it's fine. And people want to live with that. But I'm saying that movies are $15, bro. $15. That's 2 drinks at the bar. So why is it that we cannot spend $15 to go see a film when it comes out in the theaters? That's disturbing to me. Every movie that I want to see, I go to the movies to see. It costs me $15 to get in there. So I don't understand why $15
Tension.
is so bad.
That's because, all right, so ask yourself, right? Now you have to travel to go to a movie theater. You go to the movie theater, the movie that you probably want to go see is not gonna be an IMAX, right? Half of the speakers are blown, right? And you're paying $15 and paying another $8 for popcorn, another $6 for drinks, or whatever the case is. So you have that. Or you can have the confines of your home, right? Watch it on your 70-inch with your sound bar, and you're by yourself and you're chilling. So these are the two options you have. Now mind you, like I said, when I went to go see Sinners, I wanted to go IMAX. I wanted that whole cinema experience. It's the same thing with Endgame and Infinity Wars or whatever. But a lot of times, I can chill. I can chill watching at the house, man.
Hold on, because this part here is for me. I only go to the movie theaters that serve food. That's why I'm like, where the fuck do you get? You $15 is probably the matinee price now. I don't go to the movies, and this is my answer to you. Attention spans are different. When you can do what O just said and sit in the comfort of your own home and say, I gotta go to the bathroom. Pause.
Yeah.
No, but the trade-off is just, and I don't know New York prices, but I go to the movies, I spend $15. I went to go see, I just saw Bloodlines on Friday night at 9:45. My ticket cost me $15. In a nice movie theater. But here's the thing. So you're telling me, like I said, like you wanted to go see Sinners. You didn't wait because you knew if you didn't go see Sinners in the theater, you was going to have to wait 3 months to see it on streaming. You can't just see it at home right away. So I'm saying to you, like, these movies for me are good enough for me to go, hey, I want to see it right now. I want to see it when it drops. And the $15 is worth me seeing it when it drops than to wait 3 months. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you the movie starter pack and how you do it. You first of all, you sign up for your AMC
A-list.
A-list. And now you're getting 3-4 free movies a week. That's what I do, right? You only go to the best theaters you can find. You make a day of it, right? You go. So you might have to get in your boat and travel. You hit the dollar store and you get all your snacks and shit, right?
Yes, you do.
Before you get in there, right? Now you get there, you get to AMC, and if you want to buy a soda or something so you can get your points up, you get that or whatever. But you probably sneak food in or whatever, and you watch a movie and you see it the way it was intended to be seen. Meanwhile, you accruing your points, so now you're starting to get $5 coupons from AMC or whatever. So when you go back, you're doing well. COVID crippled the theater chain industry, so yes, there's a lot less theaters and places to see these things, but it is still worth it to travel to find a venue that's state of the art, that's got Dolby surround sound, that's got full IMAX 70 millimeter, and then to Ed's point, you crush an edible about an hour before you go, and you're good money.
If you could stay awake after, I agree. I agree, but I don't know. I think this part too is it's a generations conversation, because when the new movie came out, you had no choice. But when the movie sucked in the theater, you knew 6 months later it was instantly on VHS. Sometimes 2 to 3 months later, it was already on VHS because it was shit in the movie theaters. The great movies that were around could last a long time in the theater. They might get pushed back to the further back rooms, but they still had people wanting to go because that was your only means of getting it. Accessibility changed everything. COVID was the hard pivot. That was the hard crossover that just well, I guess I can do everything at home. Now I can wait 3 weeks for the new movie that's going to do whatever in theaters and then come back. Because let's think about it. When they discuss the sales, which fans shouldn't have to pay attention to at all, but we do, they only talk about first week or first night sales of tickets for something. Only the big companies are watching and track what they do after the first week, but everybody's hoping for the first splash. And then everybody, so like Sinners, they said Sinners made 58, close to 60 million in its first week of opening. That shit's probably still making money, but they're always going to bring it up. Oh, it made this much in the beginning. So the studios can see the return. The studios are going to see the return instantly. Once you know that you see numbers slowing down, now they're just utilizing now let me get paid via my streaming. Go ahead, Jamal.
No, which is why, you support these movies, because the studio system as it is set up just like the music industry to rob artists and not give them their due. And they was tight about the deal Ryan Coogler got. And they tried to sabotage that shit from the jump. Oh, it only made 80 million, just whatever it is, weekend. And shout out to Ben Stiller for coming forward.
Ben Stiller said something about it.
And says, yo, this is just the first weekend. And what it is especially creators of color have been robbed of their intellectual property for generations. Oh, black art and black culture doesn't sell overseas. It blows the fuck up overseas. They like everything we export. Music, movies, whatever. And that's how they would do to give black creatives to sign shitty deals. So Ryan Coogler signed his deal where he gets his money up front from first monies in, which is very few directors get. I think Christopher Nolan has that. I think maybe Quentin Tarantino has that. Not only that, he gets that property back in 25 years. The studio and the label does not own that shit. Okay? That is unheard of. So to poo-poo other black fucking creators from trying to do the same shit, they say, oh, we don't know what's going to make its money back. Well, guess what? Guess what knocked off fucking Thunderbolts this past week? Sinners is back in the #1 spot.
Oh, wow.
back in the number one spot.
Like over
And it's-
100 million in overseas
Of
already.
course. And you kind of lose money on IMAX because you don't have that many screens. And he
Right.
threw that shit out there. That's how dope that shit is. And and shout out to this dude, because you know what I love about this dude? He says, the films that I've made have grossed, I think, over $2 billion. Pay me my money.
Yeah.
That's it. As it
He's got
says
a
here,
track
Sinners.
record.
As it says here, as of May 16th, Sinners has already grossed $303.5 million.
Wow.
That's
and how
well.
much does that film
That's
cost?
well over. I think they said that. I think they said it cost him like 90.
Thank you. Come
So
on.
that was the point that I'm trying to. That was the point I was trying to describe, Jamal. Like, everybody's just going to talk about the first week sale, but what about the long haul? The man's made his money plus some.
And this is why I stick with the theaters, because it helps the filmmaker. And again, yes, I'm crazy biased because this is the industry I'm in. But I've seen on the inside how they try and screw people. The streaming services don't pay you shit. That's what that whole strike was about 2 summers ago. They don't pay you shit. It's just straight theft.
There's streaming and the AI.
Same thing with the music industry, but yeah.
Yes, sir.
Before we get off the topic, Jamal,
Yes, sir.
are you allowed to touch on what that meant? That post you put on Facebook about the business or whatever, that movie. You posted something about your movie group or something. What? I didn't.
Which one, bro?
What is it called? Your business, ain't that you got ownership in like a movie company or something?
I do, a production company. You mean the expo?
No, you posted.
New
Remember,
Jersey.
you posted the director and.
That was NJ Film Expo. So let me tell you what's going on there. Yeah, so I attended. So New Jersey is trying to foster more filmmaking in the state of New Jersey. So right now, New Jersey, I think, currently has the best tax credit in the country now for films. They're giving you, I think, 30%. And if you're fall into a minority group, they're giving you an extra 4% back. They built Lionsgate's coming here. Netflix is building one of the biggest studios globally in Monmouth, and they're trying to make this a huge filmmaking state. That tax credit is incredibly valuable to people who finance a film, because right off the rip, they're giving you 34% of your investment back. You know what I'm saying? So with the studios being built here in Jersey, and they're trying to just funnel everything here the same way they did in Michigan and Georgia and New Orleans and whatever. So having one of the highest tax credits is hugely helpful. The flip side is it only works. I think there's a kitty. So you have to be one of those productions that fill into that budget slate for that year to get those funds back, right? On top of it, I think your film has to hit a minimum budget. It may be $1 million. So if you don't have $1 million budget or anything else, you can't eat off of that.
So it's more. So that sounds like it's just more to entice the majors to come.
100%. And that expo,
the ones who can afford it.
But the expo wasn't quite there yet for indie filmmakers or people looking to be connected with financing. So here, but I applaud them for what they did for even starting that, because this is a great state to shoot film. There's a ton of horror films shot in this state, especially down South Jersey. You may as well be in West Virginia in some spots, bro.
Yeah.
It's got that type of look to it. You know what I mean?
Yo, anytime I rode through Burlington to go see Divine or JP or something like, most of JP, but I'd be like, yo, where the fucking cows at? All this farmland.
Yeah. Point south, like south of Burlington, like on your way to AC, you take them back roads and you go to some of them 2 light towns. That could be anywhere. That could be Tennessee. That could be West Virginia. That could be all that stuff. The woods down here is dope location, scary as fuck. With a history. Y'all heard this history of the Jersey Devil and all that shit. So
yeah,
I was gonna say the Jersey Devil.
Yeah,
Jamal,
and so,
they're doing a lot of that to pull from California, though, right? Because
California's expensive.
Yeah,
everybody's pulling from California. I mean, Michigan, Louisiana, New York, and Georgia. Yeah, are all trying to,
I mean,
get some more stuff.
you can
California's
see-
expensive as shit.
You can see what Austin is doing right now for like the comedy scene and the music scene.
Yeah.
Like same thing.
So this stuff always reinvents itself every few years or so, and you just got to adapt and adjust. But what Ryan Coogler did was huge.
Last question for you before we get out of here. Ed asked, how much of the first week pocket watching hurts a flick's longevity?
And it's crucial because, one, for movie theaters, the way they sign those deals. So if you ever want to know why movie theater food is so expensive, is they don't make money off those movies. They make money off of what you buy, because the deals they sign is they don't start making money until a movie is in like its third, fourth week. Like that first week, the studios recap all that shit to pay the stars that are in the movie. First, second, third week. How many movies do shit after 3 weeks?
Yeah, very rare.
Right.
That was the point I was talking about.
Yeah,
that was the point I was talking about before.
That's why.
What's the
But now you get a movie like Sinners that's got leg life now. Now they start making money off it. Like in my experience, the movie I've seen the most theaters made money off of was fucking Titanic. Because Titanic had like a 15 fucking week run, bro.
Yeah,
it was in the top.
So
30.
so not even Endgame or Infinity Wars did that well.
It depends. I don't think they start making like the third or fourth week they start getting a problem. But like those crucial weeks all go back to the studios.
Wow.
Unless that's changed. But that was my understanding. So it would behoove them to make better movies, to do that instead of these tentpole things that,
what's the
are hit or miss.
what's the MG Cinecraft? Is that your company or?
Yes, that's my
Okay.
production company. Yeah, that I have with a partner. Yeah, and 100%. I saw it live because I was a projectionist. Well, Ed said I was a projectionist at that time when that movie came out, and the amount of teenage girls and grown ass women that was leaving that movie crying and coming back and seeing it 2 and 3 times was lightning in a bottle. The only other movie I've seen do that was The Matrix, because The Matrix caught everybody by surprise. And small piece of movie trivia, The Matrix dropped 1 week before the Star Wars sequels did, before Phantom Menace did.
When I was a projectionist, the movie that I saw that had the most impact, because I was a projectionist before for AMC theaters, and the movie that had the most impact, believe it or not, was Training Day. And I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. All of these old women, all of these old black women did not know what Training Day was, right? And they were coming to see Training Day just because Denzel was in it. Yes. And they hated it. They hated it. They were coming out asking for their money back and snapping out because they hated Training Day and they only came there because they wanted to see Denzel, had no idea what the fuck was going on. And they was snapping out. Like every week, old black women would come out there. That ain't my Denzel. The fuck was like,
I'm glad you said that, because you brought up a key part of the entertainment industry. Now, so if you ever see a movie and you wonder why somebody's in it, and he's like, oh, why did they choose him for this role or whatever? It's because of that. Because by casting that certain person, those financiers have a good idea of what their returns are going to be, because they're looking at the last 5 movies that person did and making an average of the revenue and saying, okay, we can expect that, right?
That's why there's some people that bypass the whole union path of tryouts, auditions, and some people just got that step of, I'm in there, when you fill the rest.
That's it. You ever want to know why you see somebody say, man, when did I get some new people in it? When did I get some younger folks? It's because it's all about box office bankability and how much they can guesstimate their returns are going to be by whoever's in it. So that's how you see some actors who are totally missuited for the roles they're in, but as they were able to get that actor or actress, and they can guesstimate how much that money they're going to make back.
Yep.
So it has really nothing to do with how talented you are. It has how many asses you're going to put in seats. And that's what happened when the banks took over the studios.
That works for Jake Gyllenhaal.
Bubble Boy.
Ed said Matt Damon looks nothing like Nike exec Sonny Vaccaro.
Nope.
Yeah, he played Sonny in the Nike sneaker movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's just how it goes.
But his boy hooked him up too. His boy hooked him up.
Yeah.
That was Ben Affleck.
That was Ben Affleck's movie.
He hooked him up.
That's right. And that's why the people who run with the Adam Sandler and shit like that, they're always successful. The crews, you keep your friend circle tight, you're always gonna win. That's why Dave Chappelle got his circle. His circle's tight. All of them are, celebs in all sorts of ways and shit like that, man. But I gotta say, what was that woman's name from the Titanic that was on the one that was on the raft?
Kate
Was it
Winslet?
like Rose or something? No,
Rose.
character
Kate
name.
Winslet.
Rose.
Rose.
Yeah, it was
Rose.
Yep.
fuck Rose because she could have pulled that man up on that door with her. And with that being said, TJ, she could have shared. She had space. You know what to do, TJ.
Yeah, I'm going to take a nap, dogs. I'm fucking shot. Glad I could make it. It was a good talk today. I had to get on it because our Knicks, man, we one step away from the dance. You know what I'm saying? We one step away from the big dance. So I had to get on here. No voice and all. Just got off a flight. Almost missed it this morning. That would have been, I would have had to do that OJ run through the airport. It would have been crazy. But thank God for TSA pre-check, because that shit keeps you in and out. But yeah, great show. Good seeing you guys. I'll be back with a regular voice next week.
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. It'll be what? Game two? Game two by that time? Nah. But nah, man. My fault. I jumped the gun, man. But yeah, man. Great show, man. It's informative. I learned some shit today, man. About the whole movies industry. But yeah, man. Can't wait till next week. I know. It'll be game two next week. So yeah. Pass it off to my boy Jamal real quick.
Nah, good show, man. Wednesday is game one.
Yep.
I'm trying to find a watch party in the city. I know Knicks Fan TV usually has a watch party. I'm gonna shout them out real quick, but this fucking New Jersey transit strike has got me stuck in Jersey. I can't get to the city right now. So
are they on strike? Because when I left, they were about to go on strike.
They are.
No, they've been on strike since Friday, fam. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's another reason why that crowd was so big the other night, because nobody could get the fuck home. But anyway, shout out to the Knicks, shout out to the NBA, shout out to everybody up here. Yo, TJ, I'm glad you was able to make it, man. No voice and all. Lisper, Big O and the Mayor. Peace to Ishtar, Disabled Planets, and Ill Magic, and Hooks Rug. And looking forward to seeing how these conference championships unfold. I don't know what's the score yet with OKC and what you call it? Denver's looking like right now. I think they started at 3:30. Peace to everybody in the comments, Brian, Ed, and everybody else. And toss it over to Lisper.
Yeah, good show. I just I'm glad that Jamal was able to be here, because I really wanted him to enlighten us on some of the movie things, because I know he's involved in it, and I also wanted to hear more about like his production company and stuff like that, because I'm he succeeds, we all succeed. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. And Knicks in 6. That's what I'm going with. Knicks in 6.
So we hope. I mean,
that's awesome.
Like I said, thank you, New York Knickerbockers, for giving us exactly what we asked for. We wanted to see progression. We just wanted to see improvement. That's what we got right now. Now it's off with Indiana's head. Sorry, Miss Porter, but you already know. It's Knicks all day. We know you're a Pacers fan out here over close to us, but you know, just don't wear nothing Pacers like to the city, man. We friends.
No yellow, no blue.
You know, we'll come save lives and all of that because you're a friend, but you know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, as always, 20% off your order using the code STARTING5 at Hooks Rub, 10% off using the code STARTING5 at Dubby. We done. It's time for me to go eat some shit.
I'm gonna watch the
Peace.
game.
Anybody got